coming up.
Was brutal?
She had no chance.
No chance.
Attacked as she walked home from work.
Praba's murder was a targeted killing.
But who would want this wife and mother dead?
Love is the original motive for murder.
Her daughter confronts the unthinkable.
Do you know who the number one person of interest is?
I think it's my dad.
That's next on 60 Minutes.
For homicide detectives everywhere, there's no greater frustration than an unsolved murder, especially when there's an obvious person of interest but not enough evidence to bring them to justice. A case in point is the killing of Praba Arunkumar in a Sydney park 10 years ago. The young wife and mother was stabbed to death as she walked home alone from work. At the time of the attack, Praba was on the phone to her husband in India. But even though he was more than 10,000 kilometres away, police say Arun Govindaraju knows more than he's letting on. Tonight, the global investigation that reveals why. There are 1.5 billion people in India, but there's only one person Meghana Arunkumar wishes could walk beside her. Her mum, Praba.
As I'm growing older, I miss her more than I did yesterday. I think I tried to follow her footsteps a little by little, day by day.
You miss her?
Yeah, I do, a lot.
It's been 10 years since Praba Arunkumar was brutally stabbed to death while walking home from work through Parramatta Park in Western Sydney. A coroner ruled she was murdered, but nobody has ever been charged. Back in India, for Meghana, not knowing what really happened is as heartbreaking as it is confusing.
I just want whoever is responsible to come up and take responsibility for what they've done.
Do you know, Meghana, who the number one person of interest is in this case?
I think it's my dad.
Tonight, the case against Meghana's father, Arun Govindaraju. The mountain of evidence that points to him as the mastermind of his own wife's murder. And the frustrated detectives who, despite a decade-long global investigation, don't have enough to charge him.
The information would tend to indicate a targeted attack. So based on that theory, Arun arranged the murder of Praba from India.
Detective Inspector Richie Sim leads the homicide investigation. It's a brutal way to get rid of your wife.
Horrifically brutal. Picture a 41-year-old lady on her way home from work, surprised by this assailant, out of the blue in the dark, and stabs her multiple times in the neck whilst she's on the phone to her husband. Doesn't get any worse than that.
It must concern you that you are the number one person of interest for police. If police are right, Arun Govindaraju has a lot of questions to answer.
I don't want to answer that part.
Why not? You only answer questions that you want to answer.
No. See, some things I don't answer.
So exasperated are New South Wales homicide detectives, they're taking an unheard of step, opening up their unsolved investigation, revealing Arun's repeated lies, his changing stories,
Happy all the time.
how he deleted phone records and had a secret affair. Is it hard to accept that a decade on, whoever killed Praba has gotten away with murder?
It's horrifically disgusting to have to accept that at the moment. It's a very, very bitter pill to swallow.
41-year-old Praba Arunkumar was a long way from home when she lost her life. She was born here in the rural village of Amtor in southern India. You only have to sit at her family's table to understand how loved Praba was.
Every time we get together, she's deeply missed.
It's been an agonising decade for Praba's brother Shiv and sister Shuba. Their parents too are crippled with grief.
I've lost my beautiful girl. Justice has to prevail.
Praba shared her dad's work ethic. His trucking company is famous in their village. But in the late 1990s, the pull of opportunity lured Praba to the big city of Bengaluru, where she got a job as a software engineer. It's also where she met Arun, a man her family never approved of.
Financially, he was not fit for her. She had a better job. He had some small business and all, but financially, he was not fit.
Praba married Arun in 2000, against her family's wishes. From the outside, the couple seemed happy, especially when they had Meghana. But Shiv says his sister was under a lot of pressure from Arun to provide for the family.
He was absolutely in control of bank accounts, friends, what she's doing. So she had to do the major task of earning for everything, for his lifestyle, for his cars, for his bikes. 24 hours was not enough for her to work.
So Praba would earn the money and Arun would spend it?
Yes, it was that way.
In 2012, Praba faced an incredibly tough decision. She was offered the chance to leave India and earn more money working in Australia. The young mum agonised over the thought of being so far away from her husband and daughter. But in the end, the opportunity for her family to get ahead financially was too good to refuse.
I remember saying bye to her in the airport, and she had a huge suitcase and she just turned back and she's like, "Bye, Chinu, bye." I still have that watch.
Ah, her watch.
Yeah.
At just 7, it was a big moment for Meghana.
Every photo, you're in your mother's arms.
Yeah, she used to always grab me, always. I think.
But she knew her mum was working hard for a better life for them.
I just feel like I just needed a little more time to spend with her.
What was the plan for your family?
She wanted me to get schooled in Australia, move there, me and Dad.
It wasn't to be, though. Praba was just weeks away from a visit back to India when her walk home from work in Sydney turned deadly.
It's really scary and eerie here.
It's a dark park. It's about 9:30 at night. It's isolated.
Detective Sergeant Dan Lovell has retraced Praba's steps through Parramatta Park too many times to count. On the 7th of March 2015, as was often the case, Praba was on the phone to Arun. Police believe the call was a calculated part of the plot.
The person responsible for attacking Praba, if she was on the phone, it could be a way to mark the target so they knew who to attack.
As in a female on the phone?
Correct.
What do you think's gone on?
When she's about middle of the pathway, so
About here?
around where we are now, she's been approached by someone and she's been stabbed a number of times in the neck.
There's a lady on the ground. She seems to be bleeding. Bleeding? Yeah, she's bleeding and unconscious.
This is the frantic moment strangers called for help after finding Praba's lifeless body.
Like, holy shit. I'm thinking she's dead, man.
Why do you think she's dead?
Because she's not breathing. Her chest isn't moving or anything.
Okay.
The passers-by tried desperately to revive Praba. But she couldn't be saved. She died alone in hospital a few hours later. Getting stabbed so viciously in the neck, as an investigator, what does that tell you?
That the intention was to kill?
She had no chance.
No chance.
Coming up, from devastated widower
She was very caring.
to suspected mastermind.
Did you play any role in your wife's murder?
Please.
the moment Arun became the #1 person of interest when police uncovered his secret love affair.
Love is one of the original motives for murder.
Catching the train home from work in Western Sydney was a trip Praba Arunkumar had made so many times before. She'd been living in Australia for 3 years, sending money back to India for her husband, Arun Govindaraju, and their little girl, Meghana. But on the 7th of March 2015, the young mum had no idea she was walking towards her death.
We know Praba caught the train from Rhodes to Parramatta.
Detective Sergeant Dan Lovell has pored over this security footage. Praba is on the phone to her husband Arun, who's in India.
He told police later that he instructed Praba to call his mother's phone because his battery life was limited on his own handset.
But police believe there was another reason.
It is possible that Arun needed his phone service free so he could communicate with people who were involved in Praba's murder.
With the killer?
Yes, potentially.
So you're saying potentially she's on the phone to her husband, which she would have thought kept her safe. But following your case theory, she was actually on the phone to the person orchestrating her death?
She may well have been aiding her own murder.
It's unimaginable that a husband could be chatting to his wife while at the same time, on another phone, instructing her killer. If the police theory is correct, the ingenuity of this crime gets worse. What's not captured on CCTV is the critical point when Praba is fatally stabbed in the neck, walking through Parramatta Park.
So you have all of the lead up, but you don't have the moment that matters.
Yes.
What does that tell you?
It suggests that where Praba was attacked was the most isolated or secluded part of her journey home, where there were no CCTV cameras and there were no witnesses.
Whoever stabbed Praba fled into the night and has never been identified. This grainy footage is the best police could find. But 10 years on, Detective Inspector Richie Sim and his homicide team still have no idea who it is.
We've tried to enhance it through technology and everything else, sought assistance from around the world without any luck. Certainly someone which we definitely need to speak to.
A few days after Praba was killed, her husband Arun flew to Australia to collect her remains. Detective Sergeant Bik Singh was assigned to look after Arun. He says almost from the moment he picked Arun up from the airport and took him to the morgue, he sensed something wasn't quite right.
Maybe the inside feeling that he was upset, but I couldn't see it from the outside. Some people, uncontrollably, they start crying and the emotions just come out at that time when they see their loved one in a condition that they're not expecting. And that is with most cases, but Arun was slightly different.
He didn't cry?
He didn't cry.
Arun also showed very little emotion when he fronted the cameras to plead for help in finding his wife's murderer.
I want whoever killed my gorgeous wife to be brought to justice.
It did concern me that he may not have been as emotional or emotionally invested as one would anticipate in a situation of this nature. He's just lost his wife in a brutal murder.
What was your gut telling you during this press conference?
He was a very high prioritised line of inquiry.
Richie Sim and his team of detectives were desperate to know what Praba had said to Arun on the phone as she was being attacked. At first, he claimed it sounded like his wife was being robbed. But police say in the 10 years since, Arun's never been able to get his story straight.
His accounts kept changing. He would provide one account to us, he provided a different account to the Indian police, providing different accounts to the media, none of which were consistent.
And as an investigator, what does that make you think?
That his versions are not truthful, that they're not accurate, and that it may be an attempt to misdirect the investigation by suggesting that robbery was a motive.
At the time, investigators also looked through photos on his mobile phone and made a damning discovery. Arun was having an affair. Again, his reaction when confronted with this surprised them.
Early on, he denied it. Initially, he just said, "She's a friend. She's everything to me." Words similar to that. And that raised eyebrows. And then further during the interview, as more information came out, he finally admitted that he was having a sexual relationship with this woman.
Why do you think Arun lied about the affair?
That's a difficult question. Was he lying to us to hide the fact that he was having an affair? Or was he lying to us to protect or hide a motive from us? Love is one of the original motives for murder.
Praba and Arun's daughter, Meghana, says she only recently found out about her dad's infidelity. Who did you think she was to your dad?
I thought she was a friend from what I knew.
What do you think about her now?
I'd rather not think.
And that's okay.
I don't think I want to think about that yet.
Arun's secret affair was just the start. Police also found he deleted part of his call history and some messages from his phone. Then they uncovered that less than an hour before Praba was attacked, the PIN code for her bank account was changed by someone in India.
I asked him, "Did you change the PIN?" Initially he said no. And then we led through the evidence to indicate that it was him. And then he said, "Well, yes, I changed it to come to Australia, to come just after the murder, the night of the murder." I then indicated to him, "Well, Arun, that was before the murder occurred."
For all their suspicion, police didn't have enough evidence to arrest Arun, so he flew back to India. But the detectives kept digging. They looked closely at whether Praba's death could have been a contract murder, known in India as a Sapari killing.
The hirer pays money to an organised crime member and provides sufficient information for them to identify their victim, and then someone, unknown to the person arranging it, commits the murder.
What's it worth?
About 5,000 Australian dollars.
$5,000 for a life.
Horrific, isn't it? There is evidence to indicate there was money withdrawn by Arun leading up to the murder, but that's subject of a ongoing investigation, so it's not appropriate I go into great detail on that.
So you can't say how much?
No.
New South Wales Police hoped this is where they would make a breakthrough. In 2017, they finally got permission from the Australian and Indian governments to travel here to Bengaluru to interview Praba's husband Arun and a stack of other witnesses. But it didn't take long for the detectives to realise things here work very differently.
We became aware that Arun was in fact driving some of the witnesses we were interviewing to their police interviews on his scooter, which is very unusual and caused us significant concern.
In what way?
It suggests that there may be some sort of collusion, manipulation of evidence, some coaching potentially. It's a very unusual set of circumstances.
Their trip to India also added another piece to the puzzle. It was the first time police were able to speak with Arun's mistress.
She was standoffish. I felt she was defensive and held back information. She may not have been, but that's the impression I got from speaking with her. Very cold. Surprise, surprise, she didn't have a mobile phone with her. And that, detectives are suspicious of the best of times, but that was very unusual to me.
After the break, we track Arun down outside his home in Bengaluru.
Arun, Dimity, Clancey from 60 Minutes Australia.
Give me some time.
Please wait.
The Indian city of Bengaluru is loud and chaotic. But for Arun Govindaraju, there's a strange peace here. It's 10,000 kilometres away from New South Wales Police, who are investigating him as the #1 person of interest in the murder of his own wife, Praba. They know Arun wasn't the one who stabbed her, but believe he might have arranged the fatal attack.
Do you have a message for Arun?
Help us find who murdered your wife. This is the mother of your daughter. She was in Australia working hard to support you. Stop the lies. Come and talk to us.
Detective Inspector Richie Sim has been on the case since Praba was stabbed to death in Sydney 10 years ago. Despite uncovering Arun's changing stories, secret love affair and relentless lies, at every turn, police have fallen short of laying charges.
It is unusual, isn't it, to have such a prominent person of interest in a case but no charges?
First in my experience, in 30-something years of policing.
It's frustrating.
Hugely. I don't have a word for it.
Here in Bengaluru, Arun is living in an apartment named after his dead wife, with their daughter Meghana.
Do you think that your father could be involved?
I don't think he is involved.
Why not?
I have seen him suffer a lot. I am her daughter, but I do still believe my dad loves her more than anyone in the world. I don't think my dad has even a little courage to even put a little scratch on my mom's hand.
Is the thought just too much to bear?
It is. It is hard to know that your dad is the prime suspect. But at the same time, both of us are fighting for the answers.
Arun, Dimity Clancey from 60 Minutes Australia.
Give me some.
We'd like to talk to you about Praba's death.
I'll come and talk.
10 years without anybody being caught, that must play on your mind.
No. Give me some time. I have to talk to them. I'll come and talk to you. Give me
When we first approached Arun outside his home, it seemed some plumbing issues at the apartment block were more important to him than talking about his wife's unsolved murder.
Not come, jump and...
But eventually, he did come back and talk to us. It must be of concern to you, Arun, that you are the #1 person of interest in your wife's murder.
That is all. I don't think so. Is there any proof? People are talking, right?
Did you play any role in Praba's death?
No chance.
Why should we believe you? You've been caught lying by police many times.
Why should I believe you guys? Even we are fighting. Till last breath I will fight.
Fight
for the
what?
justice of my wife. Not it? I will fight.
What justice do you think is owed for your wife?
Whoever did it, they has to be punished.
Police believe Arun may have ordered Praba's murder because he'd found a new partner in India. Could it be a case, Arun, that you didn't want your wife to return home to India?
Nothing like that. We were happy. We were happy here.
You had an affair?
Whatever you people will say, I don't want to answer that part.
Why not? You only answer questions that you want to answer.
No. See, whatever you asked, 80% I've answered. Some things I don't want to answer.
Why not?
No, I don't want to. Don't answer. No, you can't force.
How can you say your wife and you had a happy marriage when you were having an affair?
No, thank you.
Not only did Arun lie to police about his affair, he also lied about why he accessed Praba's bank account. Why did you change your wife's PIN number in the hours before her death?
That is all. Lot of confusions are there.
Confusion?
Yes.
Well, can you sort it out now for us and tell us what happened?
No. So many things they have told. It is not true.
Arun clearly knows he's the main person of interest in Praba's murder. It's a fact that might explain his evasiveness. It's also probably the reason why 2 months ago he chose not to come to Sydney for the coronial inquest into his wife's death. Instead, he stayed in India, where he watched the evidence online with Meghana. It was the first time the 21-year-old learnt in horrifying detail how her mother's gruesome death played out while her father listened to the attack on the other end of the phone.
It was very hard because it all just blew up in front of me.
When you're sitting in front of the screen watching the inquest, what is your dad doing?
I was just sitting on my bed. He patted on my shoulder. He said, "You'll be fine." And we both had a moment of silence. And yeah.
Do you want to talk to him about it?
I think I do. I do want to know about what they've talked about in the inquest.
What would you ask him?
I don't really know. I'm still trying to process it.
You would have heard that your father was caught lying to the police.
Yes, I did. I think, I don't know. I don't have an answer for that.
How do you navigate those feelings, Meghana, when you're hearing that evidence on that screen about your dad?
I don't have an answer.
Unlike Meghana, who's awfully conflicted, Praba's parents are confident police are on the right track.
My strong belief is that the husband himself is involved.
If the person who killed your daughter is watching this, what would be your message?
If he is watching this, I would definitely ask, I wish you would have done it to me. Why did you have to do it to her?
Have you got away with murder, Arun?
No. Why you are telling that? We are going to get the justice. That's all. Thank you.
At what point does a person's lies, lie after lie, become enough?
Unfortunately, the lies by themselves are not sufficient to charge a person with murder or in connection with the murder. There is a very strong motive in this case, but motive is not an element of the offence of murder, and it's simply not enough to charge someone.
Thank you.
While Arun doesn't really want to talk about Praba's death, police are hoping somebody else will. Detective Sergeant Dan Lovell says a $1 million reward is on offer for anyone around the world who comes forward to police with information that helps solve the case.
Morally, it's the right thing to do, but if morals is not enough, the $1 million incentive should get them across the line, which at today's exchange rates equates to 56 million Indian rupee.
Like Dan, Detective Inspector Richie Sim says this case eats at him. They feel so close to solving it, but the fact is, they haven't.
Is it possible that you've had a little bit of tunnel vision on this and that there could be some other explanation for Praba's murder?
Is it possible? Yes. Do I think we have? No. But we will still keep open minds. And we've got to keep open minds.
It's ordinary when you can't solve it, when you've put so much effort in, isn't it?
I would probably use a stronger word than that.
What are your plans for the future?
My mum loved to travel, I've heard. I'm going to visit all the places that she couldn't and take her with me.
All Meghana wants is the truth, even if it ends up being incredibly difficult to accept. But whatever happens, her mum will always be in her heart.
I think she'd be pretty proud of you.
I really hope she's proud of me. She deserves better.
As we mentioned, there's a $1 million reward on offer. If you have information about this case that might help police, call Crime Stoppers on 1800 333 000.
On this week's 60 Minutes podcast, Extra Minutes, how a $1 million reward might help catch whoever's responsible for Praba Arunkumar's murder.
It's a lot of money. 1 million Australian dollars converted to rupees would set somebody up for life.
That's Extra Minutes, available now on the 60 Minutes Australia YouTube channel.